come to communication logbook, the first policy under the front office department. Right? So the whole essence of policy is to have what? A system. Is that not so? And let me tell you something. When there is a system, it protects you, the staff, and it also protects the organization. When there is no system, things can go bad and you will be blamed. I hope you know that. You will be blamed. But when there is a system of doing things, it's a way of telling you this is how we should do this to avoid problems. And even if problem comes, you're free because you will say, I followed the procedure, I followed the system, and you are exempted. So do you want to exempt yourself from problems, from temptations, you want to exempt yourself from complications? Then anywhere you find yourself, ask, what is the system? What is the system of operation? What is the requirement? What are the standards? What is expected of me? Because when you do that, you will stay out of trouble. So the first policy we are looking at is the policy on communication logbook. There are times when a guest will call. There are times when guests will send a message, call the front office. When they call the front office, they are calling an individual, right? And all they will say is, I called front office. They may not even remember that it was John that I spoke with. It was Olivia that I spoke with. All they know is that they called front office. And since they called front office, they expect that front office will take care of the situation. Is that not so? So, in order to protect you, to protect the guests, to protect the hotel, we have what we have called communication logbook. Let's now go in details to find out what it is and what we are expected to do with the communication logbook. Are we ready? Yes. Great. Now, daily briefing by the front office manager must be carried out prior to each shift. All incidents, messages, information, property performance statistics, and follow-up requests must be recorded in the communication logbook. Each record must be entered separately and must reflect the date and time of entry, the name of person making such entry, details of the entry, and the party informed to follow up. So we know what the communication logbook is, right? And what we're supposed to do with it. Am I correct? Now, each day must begin with a new page. Each day must begin with a new page. And each page of the communication logbook is divided into different columns. Time, room number, details, reported by, relate to, remarks. You have communication logbook, right? Do you have communication logbook in front of this department right now?
No, sorry. We only have our report week, but at times we do chip in.
Oh, simple. And it's clear. So when you see the numbering, it will confuse you. The first one we treated the communication logbook itself, the second one, the form. So now we have come to the third policy, still under the front office, arrival and departure policy. Alright? So let's see what we have here. The purpose is to ensure that the first and last impression of the guest is according to Crispan standards, to ensure accuracy with guest details and invoices. Impression matters. Have you ever heard that first impression counts? And even if you try your best to get things right in between, it's still not like that first one. And do you know that if you impress someone the first time, if you make a mistake, they will pardon you? Do you understand? So let us seize the opportunity and get it right the first time. Porters, I hope you know that you have a very key role to play here. You'll be watching ball, and a guest is coming with luggages. Your whole gaze and attention is on the football. Is that a good impression? It is not. Which means you are not expecting customers. That attitude says, I am not expecting anybody. So you are focusing on what matters most to you. You're not upholding the vision of the hotel. I hope you know that that's an indication of where you stand. At the end of the month, just pay my salary, let me get out of here. That's what you're saying. But when you are expecting somebody I'm expecting that the president will come in here. I'm expecting that the governor will come in here. I'm expecting that an important person is coming in. Your expectation will show the way you stand there, the way you are looking out, whether you are going to help somebody into the hotel or if you're helping somebody out of the hotel. Your manner tells first impression and last impression. First impression and last impression. Don't just be after what the person will give you. This person looks like he's going to be a rich man, or he will drop some pepper for me. Let me forget, so I will not carry the luggage. But if the person does not look like her, this person looks very rigid. Our kind of person now, they send. Because he looks very rigid, or they put a lot of shake on you, they will leave you to carry that bag unless you cry out for help. Don't do that. You have simply reduced yourself into a public beggar. Don't do that. Your prestige is very important. Let me tell you the honest. No matter how hungry you are, don't do that. Don't paint an impression that I am doing what I am doing because of what I think or feel that you will give to me. Have that confidence, that dignity, that pride. I am doing what I am doing. I am happy about it. Do you understand? I am giving my best because I don't see myself here for the rest of my life. Do you think about that? I don't see myself here for the rest of my life. I see myself progressing. Do you understand? And I am building myself for that up position. So while I am here, I'm going to be the best at it. And even though I am helping you carry your bag, it doesn't make me anything less than who you are, even if you're a governor. Do you understand? That's what they call the dignity in what? Labor. Dignity in what? Labor. Be conscious of that. Good morning. Greet well. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Even if you see that the person is too young to be a sir, put it there. That is the way they like it. Do you understand? First impression and the last impression. Thank you very much. Do you understand? Thank you for coming to Crispan. We look forward to seeing you again. Have a blessed day. And you turn, not have a blessed day and you still standing there. Have a blessed day. Receipt with guest details and invoices. Let's go on. So what is the procedure expected? Before guest arrivals, all registration cards must be printed for those who have already made their reservations, people you are expecting. Imagine if a reservation has already been made and the person comes and he hears, I can't find your reservation. I cannot see your name, which is very wrong. Is that not so? It's only walking guests, people who are just coming in and they are paying now, that you should start the whole procedures. But for those who have reservations, you should start before they arrive. That is hospitality. You are expecting them. So how do you show them that you are expecting them? Be prepared. That is how you show them that you are expecting them. I am expecting a guest. So be prepared. Aneke, I tell you that I'll be coming to visit you. I told you, I saw you today and I said, I'll be coming to your house tomorrow. Is that not so? I would expect that when I come, I will meet you. Even if you don't cook orishi. Do you understand? Even if you don't cook orishi, at least I should meet you. You should tell me welcome for coming. And then I come and they say, you have come? He's not around though. He went to watch match. Do you understand? What impression does that give to me, who has told you ahead of time that I am coming? I don't have any business with you. That's just what it means, because you have told me I am not important. That is indirectly telling me I am not important. Do you understand? But when somebody says to you, I am coming to your house, and you are around, and you show the person that I was actually expecting you, welcome to my house. Please, man, come and sit down. A cup of water, that is enough. So can you see why it's important to show guests who have made reservations that you are actually expecting them? And not the one that will become is after 2 hours, what they will like, okay, I found your name. Or the person who even took the reservation didn't even communicate. Poor image. That will no longer be the case in Crispan, right? which I trust you. So before guest arrivals, all registration cards must be printed. Guest details must be checked prior to guest arrivals in terms of rates, number of room nights, number of persons, correct room type assigned. Supporting documents and emails will be attached to printed registration card, and details counter-checked against system details. Arrival time will be clearly mentioned for the guest upon reservation. Arrival time will be starting by 3, but our own is 2 o'clock. Night auditor will check all arrivals of the next day. Team leader will check all arrivals posted on the same day of arrival. Is this what we do?
Most. We do most of it.
We do that, but
Arrive before the arrival time. There is also a policy on that. We will touch on it. There's a policy on that, all right? But what we are talking about is for those people who already have reservations. Do you show them that you are prepared? Do you cut their cards, their keys before they arrive? Do you enter their registrations? Do you enter into the system? And when they come and just tell you their names, you check, you see their names, you welcome them, get the details you need, and give to them. Is that what we do?
yes.
For reservations. So when do you do that? At night or during the day?
First thing in the morning, when the morning shift comes. That's what they do.
But you can see that from this policy, it shows that it is the night shift people that should do it. So what do you think?
Just do the night.
In the morning, you're supposed to share arrival with the maintenance, with the housekeepers. But when you come in the morning by 8 o'clock and you start doing that, by what time do you give them the arrival rooms? The complaint. Now, if that is what we do, then in the morning, we print out the registrations and fill and prepare. Is that not so? Yes, good. And what you even said about those that came before time, especially the regular customers, since it's hospitality business and the room is vacant, you can let the person in. The only time there will be an issue is if the room is occupied. You can say, my sincere apologies, sir. The room is occupied and needs to be prepared. Do you understand? Or the room is not yet ready, and on that basis, we can't check you in. Why not you sit down and wait? Do you understand? You can now, that's the opportunity to go market the restaurant, or would you like to try our new coffee shop and anything? So you can now even use opportunity and market and tell them to go to the poolside or check the gym or visit the spa. But if by 4 o'clock the person comes and the room is not ready, I hope you know it's your fault.
Yes.
There should be what? Compensation. All these are policies that we'll be looking into. For now, we're talking about the procedure for what? Arrival of guests. Show the guests that they are important. Show them that you are expecting them. Do you understand? Let's say I have reservation, you greet them. Be excited that they're around. Get their names. And also, then check the system. I say, you're welcome, sir. Here is your registration form and everything. Is that not so? Now, for departures should be checked 1 day prior to actual checkout dates. So what that means is that by today, you should know the number of people checking out tomorrow. Departure letters will be sent a day prior to actual checkouts after checking with front office manager in order to get accurate inventory on the next day. Do we do that one? So you see why I said you're supposed to be here? Because there are things we will adopt, there are things we will not adopt. And if I adopt anyone in your absence, you must implement it. Okay, so let me tell you. So now this is what the policy says, international policy, but there are things that are peculiar, okay? And those are the things that we will take, not the ones that they are suggesting we take. And that is the essence of this meeting. All right? So according to their standard, it says that a letter should be sent to notify them that they are supposed to check out a day before. So how do you notify your guests that they are departing the next day? You don't? Okay. So why? So that you will not offend them, right? So that you will not ask, are you pursuing me?
Yes.
Are you pursuing me? But that is international standard. So what do we do? Skip?
Only calls on 3 minutes to 12, maybe quarter to 12. To find out, to remind and find out if some of them are extending, we're still checking out like
Okay. You call them by what time?
quarter to 12.
Do you really call?
Yes.
So we take no longer than 10 minutes. So on average, how many minutes do you spend?
Less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes for checkout. Now, departures covered by companies should be checked for supporting documents and covering letters accurately. Yes, you do that, right?
Yes.
Because you're not expecting them to pay upon checkout, but you have to ensure that they sign whatever they need to sign. Is that not so?
Yes.
So that you can be paid. So that is that about departure. The request for late checkout must be approved by the front office manager or reception senior on duty. Do you usually get requests for late checkout?
Yes.
So what do you do?
Put it to the front office manager. So he asks at what time, because we need to know the time frame. So if he approves, we get back to the guest.
Okay, so
Exact time, we will communicate to the guest.
Okay, so let's say now that I'm a guest and you call me by 15 minutes to 12 to ask if I'll be checking out or not. And I tell you, oh, sorry, front office, right? Yes, I'll be checking out, just that please, I'll be leaving late. My flight is by 5 o'clock and I'm wondering if I can just stay until 4 p.m. before I leave the room. What will you say?
For that, there's always charge.
One case now is 12. Can be extended upon availability with no late checkout charges up to our own now be 2 o'clock. Is that not so? Which is what you were trying to communicate, right? So it's important that you even tell the person, I'll get back to you. So that when you now even call and give the person the good news of, you'll be allowed to stay up to this moment. But after then, why don't you consider staying at the pool or whatever? But if you insist on staying, I'm sorry, you'll be required to make payment for late checkout. So between that two, if the person is staying up to 6 o'clock, it's 50%, right? That will be applied. Then any request after that 6 o'clock is one full day, 100%. We're through with this and we are clear about it. Late checkout with or without charges request an approval form which will be attached to the checkout folio signed by the cashier and the senior on duty. Do you do that?
You have to check out.
Have they been feeling? Not having.
Okay, sometimes you've been feeling. That's just it.
So that means you've not been feeling. That's just what it means. So that is just what it means, because at the end of the month, we should be able to audit the system to say that the number of times people check out late is high or it's not high. It's the form that will tell us. So please, do not approve late checkout verbally without the request form filled and signed by the cashier. You see why it's even the cashier that's supposed to sign that, but I noticed that all of you are cashiers, right? So that means you'll be the one to sign it. Do you understand? And the front office manager who gave the approval, his signature should also be there. Is that not so? Yes, because we can audit the system and we need to see who has been given approval for late checkouts. Do you understand? Now, linked policy to housekeeping. Desk clerk communicates guest departure to housekeeping to inspect the room. Is this achievable?
Yes.
You do it?
Yes.
You do that? You inform housekeeping and they actually check the rooms.
We call them at the intercom as we're greeting the guests folio for the guests to sign. We call them and send to them on the WhatsApp.
To be sent to the reception clerk from the housekeeping agent or senior who is inspecting the room that nothing is missing or even damages in the room. If any missing or damage directly is that to be communicated to the front office clerk who is checking out the guests. If the person now says, I noticed that the mirror is broken. I've checked too and the mirror is broken. You will not start shouting, sir, you broke our mirror. Abi? You broke the mirror. Yes, we've checked and they said, no, you don't even still do that. You just say, oh, sir, upon inspection, notice that the mirror in the room is broken. How would you like us to handle this? You did not tell the person you broke it. About the missing item, what would you do? You kindly tell the person that, well, we notice that the mirror in your room is broken. Do you understand? Or this is not your room. How do you want us to, how would you like us to handle this? The person's expression of attitude will now tell the person says, oh yeah, actually when I was waiting or this or that, so okay, kindly wait, please. Our front office manager will attend to you. Don't deal, don't drag, don't paint any impression. Don't shout. Don't say you have okay, you will pay. Say you have to pay. Do you understand? You have to pay. No. You just be calm, be collected. All they have to do is to inform that you are aware that this happened in the room and you are not accusing the person. Do you understand? How would you like this to be handled? And the person says, no, not me. Actually, let it like that. Oh, indeed. Please wait a moment. Our front office manager and the hospital manager will be involved. Simple. You hand over the case to your superior. Let them be the ones. It's not left for the front office manager to say, maintenance, was this cracked? You see why room inspection is important? And they tell you upon inspection it was intact. Everything was fine. So they cannot have a meeting. But you, front office, make sure you don't quarrel with your guests. You are the one they like. Do you understand? And you are the one to show them that you like them. Time checkout notes should be sent to the front office team attached with the checkout documents, all details mentioned, and code. Thank you very much. Check-in and check-out timing. So we should be faster. I thought we were going to the last one. So I think we'll have to, let's read this time around. We are good readers, right? So let's read. But I hope you're taking note of the action steps here. Don't think that we'll get carried away. Number one is that you're going to implement the communication logbook, right? You're going to make adjustments to it, right? And everybody will develop their scripts. Let's see who goes through. Policy number 4, the purpose is to avoid last-minute overbooking with guests extending their stay without prior notification to the reservation department. To ensure that the hotel's inventory is updated in order to maximize room selling, to equally treat all our guests. The procedure, check-in. The hotel check-in time is from 2 o'clock. Yes. Arrival prior to this between 9 hours to 14 hours should be accepted without charge, subject to availability. So you heard what we said. If it's available, please check in. Alright? The person has come in between 9 o'clock because I expect that by 8 o'clock, people are still putting your place in order, you're taking maybe when you're in a meeting, your briefings or whatever, and the person comes in by 9 o'clock. There's reservation. And the room is available. The only thing that would make you tell the person to please wait is if the room is not clean, if the room is not ready. And even that, communicate. Tell the person, yes, we will accept your reservation and you can even check in, but please just wait for 30 minutes to 1 hour for the room to be prepared. Do you understand? Even your tone. And you should be excited when you're telling the person that ordinarily check-in time is by so and so time, but I would allow you to stay, but let us put the room in order. So based on availability, you can allow the guests to check in. Arrivals before 9 should be booked from the previous night to confirm charges. Before 9. So we should charge them. Clearly state the check-in policy. Like if the group people are coming and they're supposed to come late, you should be aware that they're coming in late or they're going to come in too early. This should be there. Then checkout time. The hotel checkout time is 12. Any request after 1 o'clock can be extended upon availability with no late charges. And I think ours is till 2 o'clock, right? So till 2 o'clock, no charge. After 2 o'clock, we're expected to charge. For requests between 3 and 6, 50% of the room night charge will be applied. Any requests after 6 p.m. will be subject to full night charge. So that means that this between 3 o'clock, 15 means 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Between 3 o'clock and 6 p.m. Even if it's not going to be charged, there has to be a form filled and added to the person folder, because when the night auditor does his check and sends it, it shows the checkout time of everybody. Alright? So when I'm looking at that report and I see that somebody checked out by 3 p.m., I can request to see the form so that you understand where I'm coming from. That is a system we're talking about that we are putting in check. So I hope you're bearing in mind. We are implementing the communication logbook, the late checkout request form. Alright? Signed by the guests in-house, like this, and approved by the front office manager. So when I see somebody checking out by 4 p.m., I will see. So it's either I see payment made or I see the checkout form approved by the front office manager. Then if I ask the front office manager, please explain why this person was not charged, and he gives a good reason, then that passes. Do you understand? Now, confidential rates, tour operators, travel agencies, guests will be charged based on the best available rate of the day. I'm sure that is already imputed, it's certain. You already know what we charge, the booking.coms and all of that. Then, late checkout after 3 o'clock, with or without charges, we request an approval form. You can see that clearly, right? Which will be attached to the checkout folio signed by the cashier and the senior on duty. Signed by you and the front office manager, and of course, the signature of the guests checking out. Appendices linked with this policy is the late checkout request form. That is the end. Thank you very much.